Coming up on News 20 at 11, we'll talk about Black infant mortality rates, meet the new Pope, witness a 23 heat streak, and then relax our minds. Those stories and much more. Your News 20 at 11 starts right now.
From the highest of 7 hills in Florida's capital city, covering every corner of the Big Bend, this is the award-winning News 20 at 5.
Good evening, I'm Tanya Glover. Our top story this evening shows how Black infant mortality rates are on the rise. 18.3 out of every 1,000 Black infants born in Tallahassee die at birth. With that rate increasing, the Capital Area Healthy Start Coalition is finding ways to better educate expected mothers. Health educator LaRonda Larkins sees the problem.
What actually causes infant mortality is a lack of knowledge. A lot of women are not familiar with folic acid, which is a vitamin B supplement that they should take on a daily basis, whether they're not pregnant or whether they are pregnant.
Leon County's Black infant mortality rate ranks 47th among Florida's 67 counties. Its white infant mortality rate ranks 19th. Finding more solutions is a joint effort between families and the healthcare system. Also in infant care, the Florida Agency for Healthcare Administration reported that the number of babies with withdrawal symptoms has increased by 1,000 in 4 years. Dr. McKendrick says taking drugs during pregnancy can have an addicting effect on the infant.
Being addicted when they were born, and so their bodies are having to withdraw from the drug. Doesn't say that these children don't recover, because they do, and they have.
Long-term symptoms include ADD, ADHD, or in some cases, a delay in motor skills. And the end of the R word, or at least that's what a group of supporters are calling a campaign. This campaign is in support of Senate Bill 142 that would change reference of the word retarded used in Florida law to intellectual disability. A group of over 50 supporters, lawmakers, and those with intellectual disabilities rallied at the Capitol to push awareness. Similar bills brought before the legislature has failed to get approved in the past. This bill will help those subjected to teasing and bullying after being called the R word. And speaking of disabilities, disabled parking permits is the name of Senate Bill 94, expected to take effect this summer. The bill will increase the renew process for those deemed permanently disabled and also help weed out abusers of the parking permits. Our reporter Will Pitts has more.
Using a disabled parking permit can be just as hard as being disabled. Luckily, a newly revised bill could ease the pain for disabled parking. Senior Legislative Assistant Jeff Branch covered the origin of the bill, and he explains more.
But if you are permanently disabled, meaning you will never walk in your entire life, you should not have to go to the doctor every 4 years, or when you have to renew your parking permit, to get a note that says you are permanently disabled.
Branch also says that this bill will allow the Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles to conduct death record reviews. This will help stop those who abuse the permits if the applicant is deceased.
Randomly conduct a death record review so that folks weren't still using those placards.
Senior citizens are common users of disabled parking. Many are like Margaret Waters. She will need her permit for the rest of her life, and she is happy that the number of abusers could lower in the future.
Suppose it was me, and I'd miss a doctor's appointment because there are handicapped spots and they're filled up with so many people that just borrowed it or got it and they don't need it.
Look for the effect of this bill on July 1st. I'm Will Pitts reporting for News 20 at 5.
And in 2011, electronic distractions caused nearly 150 vehicle fatalities, according to state records. Florida could become the 40th state to ban texting while driving. Drivers like Jeremy Smith use their phone for GPS, are concerned about the bill.
A lot of people use their phones for GPS while they drive, and I don't know how they differentiate how texting would be any more distracting than using your GPS.
Drivers who are caught will be fined $30 for the first offense, $60 maximum. For more info, visit flsenate.gov. And speaking of texting behind the wheel, an Orlando bus driver was caught texting while driving. These videos show Robert Stancheski driving while checking his phone multiple times. He was suspended once for this issue already and is now fighting for his job. Stancheski says he was using the speech-to-text feature on his phone to contact a parent of a special needs child, giving the heads up upon arrival. A board meeting discussing the issue will take place this week. When we come back, discover the deadliest car crash in the history of Trumbull County, Ohio, find out how a 2-year-old disaster is still in effect, and meet the new pope. Those stories and more after the break. You're watching News 20 at 11.